Christian stewardship is first recognizing what has been gifted to me. And if we think about it, everything is gift from the Lord.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I was immediately ejected out of my successful life. As my hair fell away and my body withered, I realized that all these things that I had been chasing after were very temporal, and as I looked at myself in the mirror, I barely could recognize myself and kept on asking, who am I? What is my identity?
I was just so involved in doing so many things in church. It was all becoming more about myself rather than about God. I lost the reason and who I was serving. That led me to ask myself and to ask God, God, how can I love you back? Lord, what is your will for me?
Even while I was in seminary, for the first 4 years, it was always the question on my mind, is God really calling me to be a priest? And even after little continued assurances, I still had this resistance and this refusal. And when I finally got up the courage to let my spiritual director know I was struggling with this, it was in that surrender to even approach this subject. I felt God telling me, these are the signs I've given you, why are you not looking for me instead? With all my weaknesses, is this truly who I am? But the assurance has been that I'm still a work in progress, as long as I'm constantly striving towards saying yes to even the littlest things.
Of course, with every baby, you pray that you have a healthy baby. So I was praying before the tabernacle one day, and I had a very clear inner message that this is a special child. So my first reaction was, no, I don't want. Internally, I immediately repented and I said, no, I am so sorry. Whatever child you give me, I will love and I will accept. My heart never stopped longing for and praying of a place for all children to be together, not just with special needs. So that's how Rosebrook was born. God was so faithful. So in 2 months, He found us a place. He found us some children. He found us some money. And we continue to do all that we can. Like what St. Augustine says, pray as if that it all depends on God, but work as if it all depends on you.
First year of college, I got my first taste of depression, and each time it got worse and worse. It was a very, very, very deep self-rejection that occupied my mind and my thoughts all the time. When I could not stand being alone with my thoughts, I'll sit in a pew somewhere very close to the tabernacle, and it's the same thing that I'm telling God. I said, you have taken everything. What more do you want? And one day I finally got the answer. The answer was, there's one thing you have not given me. You have not given me your despair. It was such a deep truth that even my despair could be a gift. I came to see that the greatest gifts that He had for me would actually be hidden in my deepest wounds.
You know, He sent all these many people and angels to save me. I was completely overwhelmed with all this love that I would have never had the time to really stop and feel and say, I'm thankful, Lord, for all that you have given me. Out of character, something stirred so strongly in me to write a coming out post on my socials. And what I did was I actually proclaimed God's goodness of His love for me through cancer. And to my bewilderedness, it went viral. But I realized that I wasn't actually driven by external measures like I would be with my career. This kind of hope that people have given to me is something that I too can pass it on to give to others.
Every painful moment, instead of it being an invitation to rant or invitation to wallow, became an invitation to love. One of the things that Mother Teresa said was, not all of us can do great things. We can do small things with great love. Stewardship is not just about having brilliant and obvious gifts to share with the world. To find that His greatest gifts for you could be hidden within your deepest wounds or your greatest shames, as has been the case for me.
Start to recognize and grow in self-awareness of the unique gifts that God has given you that stems from a relationship with Him. Then with that relationship rooted in God, will you know how to uniquely steward His gifts in your life.
So see you at the Young Stewards Conference 2022. It will be happening on 29th of October on a Saturday at 10:30 to 3:30 p.m. Come and be inspired by fellow Catholics on how they steward God's graces in their lives. See you there!